Mr. Marinakis gets his man, Jules. It's the lovable, cuddly S&M man. It's Shawn Dyche. He's the new Nottingham Forest boss. Right choice?
I mean, yeah, that we'll have the return of
The gravelly voice.
Gravelly voice.
Some people really like that.
For. Yeah. Is he the right guy? I mean, he's certainly closer to Nuno and what Nuno built there than Ange would have ever been. On that, yes. It was not who I would have gone for, to be honest here. But, I just think when you took such a risky call with Ange, you go back to being like, okay, let's not mess this one up, because this is it's gonna work in the sense that it's gonna stabilize it. They're gonna be more solid. They're gonna go back a bit. They will have a decent rest of the season. They might just finish 12th, okay, but considering how bad they started, that would do the job.
So, a couple of things. First of all, one of the first things he said, he's going to ban hats and snoods from training.
He said that before.
But he's going to allow white socks. I don't know if he wants to. Do you want people to think you're a caricature of yourself? Like, why should you ban snoods if players are whatever? I think the thing about Shawn Dyche, look, obviously there's certain things he does extremely well. Did really well to keep Burnley up all those years ago. Did the job at Everton as well. But the point is, you appoint, unless you gave him a deal through the end of the season, and I think he has a longer deal than that, you have to think, am I in serious danger of going down this year? And you could say yes, or should I take a little bit more time and appoint a guy who maybe can make me better and take me to the next level where Forest want to be? I don't believe Shawn Dyche is a guy to take Nottingham Forest to the next level, because it's not anything he's ever really done in his career. So,
but can anyone do though? I'm not sure there's a next level for this team. I'm not sure you can do better than last season.
No. I don't mean do better than last season.
So what's the next level? You say you can't take them to the next level.
Take him to the next level from a relegation threatened team to a team that's stable in mid-table and maybe can qualify for the Europa League. So last year, it was phenomenal. A lot of things went into place. You don't have to be a statistical nerd to understand that they outperformed it. They outperformed all their metrics. There's a lot of variance and stuff happens. But that was also not going to be sustainable. Now, you've got this multi-club project.
Yeah.
You have Edu. Presumably you're building towards something. With Shawn Dyche, generally you build towards survival. You don't go beyond that. So maybe Shawn Dyche, if you think, oh, we're going to get relegated, that's going to suck, so let me get Dyche. Otherwise, you're in a position where, you stay up, you finish 13th or 14th or whatever. And then in the summer, you say, okay, if I continue with Dyche, maybe I'll be in the same position next year. But if I want to go further, then I have to look elsewhere.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Good news and bad news for Barcelona, Gabby, and the renovation of the Camp Nou.
So the good news, in addition to some giant Spotify deal, is they got authorization to play in front of 27,000 people at the Camp Nou, so they can go back there.
Way,
Except they're not going to.
No.
They said that they've let it be known they won't return until Phase 1B, which is when they open up some more stands and the capacity rises to 47,000. Now, we can be cynical and say it's about money. I choose to think it's actually a bit of respect for their season ticket holders, because obviously Montjuic, if they went back when the capacity was 27,000, they'd be losing money, but also those would be a bunch of fans who couldn't get to go, right? But buried in the report is the fact that the full opening now has been pushed back to December 2027. Oh, that's more than 2 years from now.
Yeah.
It was weird when Rangers appointed Russell Martin. It was weirder still when they were linked to everyone from Steven Gerrard to Kevin Muscat.
Yeah.
Now they've turned to Danny Roll, Jules.
Yeah, and it didn't seem too easy because they were in talks and then the talks broke down. So then they went back to Kevin Muscat, who seems to be doing a good job as a coach. They didn't really have Kevin Muscat as a potential really good coach, but hey, why not? But then you kind of things got better with Danny Roll and they appointed him. We've seen with him, certainly in the championship, a nice philosophy. I think he's got bright ideas. I love his energy and the vibe. Again, going back to Dyche, Forest, is it what Rangers need after such a dreadful start of the season? At least they will have they should have a clear philosophy, which Russell Martin, to be fair, had in his way. He's just never able to implement it with his own players. So let's see what Danny Roll does. I think I like this appointments, really. But then I'm not sure if it's going to work.
I'm gonna use this as an excuse to tell my Kevin Muscat story.
Oh, yeah, go on.
It's on YouTube somewhere. One of the teams that Kevin Muscat played for, I really don't know. I think it was like a preseason friendly. It might have been. I had no idea who he was playing for because I've forgotten. I've blanked it out of my mind. But they were playing friendly against Milan. You and I both know Marcel Desailly. I think you would confirm that it takes a lot for Marcel Desailly to lose his cool.
Yeah.
There's a massive brawl at the end of the game, presumably instigated by Muscat. Desailly absolutely loses it. You know, he and Muscat, they're like literally at each other's throats. And you look at Marcel's face, it just looks like Marcel's like, all right, that's it. This is the end of Kevin Muscat.
Yeah.
All these players pile on. And then there's like a giant, and then it's like everything goes dark because this giant figure goes and blocks out the sun. And it's Zeljko Kalac.
Yeah.
You remember the giant 8-foot goalkeeper who was like Milan's third keeper at the time? He comes in and he pulls Muscat's not a small man. He's a very aggressive man.
Yeah, very aggressive.
Desailly, not a small man either. And he pulls them apart as if they were children. I love that. I don't know what Zeljko Kalac is doing right now.
No, but interesting to know.
I never met the guy, but I always really, really liked him.
Gab, how about some Textor time? It's been a while.
It's time! It's time! It's Textor time! Yes, so our hero is in trouble
Again.
once again. Or not trouble. He's getting some bad news. There's a commercial court in the UK. He's had a preliminary hearing. Basically, they say that he owes nearly $100 million to something called Iconic Sports. Now, Iconic Sports are one of those funds, one of those iconic funds, maybe. They invested $75 million in Eagle Football Limited, which you remember was, because I don't think there's many teams left in there, his sort of multi-club ownership vehicle back in 2022. And they say that JT promised them that they were going to list on the stock exchange in an initial public offering. And that if they didn't, then he had to buy back their shares plus 11% a year in interest, which if you add it up comes out to $97 million.
Yeah.
Obviously, he hasn't done that. Textor says he's going to appeal. Textor says it's incorrect. Blah, blah, blah. He's still going. He's got court cases, of course, and back in Brazil with Botafogo as well. It's always fun and games in the Textor household.
Always.
Nominees for the African Footballer of the Year out, Jules. Ballons d'Or.
Yeah.
Your department. You know who I would give it to, obviously.
Yes, obviously.
So who you got?
So your boy, obviously, Victor Osimhen is in there with Anguissa, with Bouanga, with Guirassy, with Lamlioui, with Mayele, with Ndiaye. Mo Salah, of course, is there, always there. Pape Matar as well, but the winner. And there can only be one winner. And there can only be one name, and you all know the one that I've left for the end. It's Achraf Hakimi, who's been not just the best African player last season anywhere, but as we said, potentially in the top 3 or top 5 players all around the world.
I'm less familiar with this Ballon d'Or than I am with the other Ballon d'Or. I always wonder about voters and criteria. If you're going to weigh the 24-25 season really heavily, you could probably make a strong case for Liverpool's Egyptian forward, right? For Mohamed Salah. I mean, there's some people were saying Mohamed Salah was a candidate for, the France Football Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
A lot of people had him at 3rd or 4th. I don't know where he finished, but a lot of people had him in the top 5. Whereas you could say Achraf Hakimi played for a super team surrounded by a lot of other great players. Without Salah, Liverpool would not have won the title.
Oh, I see what.
Without Hakimi.
No, I'm not sure. I mean, Hakimi's numbers. Hakimi's scoring in the Champions League final, semi-final, quarterfinals. It's just an incredible year. I think Hakimi would win it, and I think he'd be well deserved.
If you waited on October and you count the start of this season, no question, it's Hakimi.
Gab, remember that mysterious post from Turkey Al Sheikh claiming that Manchester United were in advanced talks over a sale? Well, according to The Guardian, it's partly true.
Yeah, very partly. So Turkey Al Sheikh, for those who don't know, he is the minister or is the head of general entertainment in Saudi Arabia, which is a really big job. Covers everything from sports, the Saudi Pro League, the boxing, the WWE, concerts, that comedy fest that they had. Yeah. So he's important, and he's a big Manchester United fan. So if you remember, he sent out this tweet where he's like, "Congratulations to Manchester United's new owners who are in advanced talks," and people saw this and they're like, "Hey, Turkey, what the hell are you talking about?" It's like, "Oh no, I'm speaking as a fan, not in my official capacity." I'm like, "Do you know something?" "Well, no, well. According to The Guardian, there's a group of investors. They're not from Saudi, they're from UAE, who are putting together a bid, and they want to rope in all the former Manchester United legends.
Okay.
But this seems very much in its infancy. It's not clear that they've raised any money yet.
Right.
And of course, it's going to take a lot of money to dislodge Ratcliffe and even more to dislodge the Glazers.
We know that.
Guardian was able to confirm that they spoke to Eric Cantona. I think, frankly, it's because everybody's Cantona's number and he will talk to anybody at any time, especially if you put some money in front of them.
Of course.
Supposedly, they want to talk to David Beckham and Wayne Rooney.
Okay.
I think those are the ones that would probably move the needle a little bit more. David Beckham, if he could bring in some friends, he would attract investors.
That's true.
But yeah, it's extremely premature, so do not get too excited. Certainly, I think Turkey jumped the gun on that one a little bit.
Yeah. It wasn't that long ago that 777 Football had majority stakes in Hertha Berlin, Genoa, Standard Liège, and Vasco da Gama, as well as minority shares in Sevilla and Melbourne Victory. They were even had a deal to buy 94.1% of Everton. And now, according to the FBI, it was a fraud scheme worth $500 million.
Yes, and because lawyers are watching, I'm going to quote here from the FBI's own release, quoting a guy named Christopher Raya. He says, they quote, "Fabricated lies of success and doctored financial records." Like, you can say, "Oh, it's a boring financial story, not my club." We need more oversight in football. We need more oversight. It's not just this. These are allegations of outright fraud.
Yeah.
I don't think there are allegations of outright fraud towards John Textor, rightly so. But clearly, these multi-club ownership things, especially when the funding sometimes is there, sometimes isn't there, is what it is. There's certainly a lot of investigations there. There's the other guy, the guy who was from, I'm blanking on his name, Conway, who had some team up north in England. I'm blanking on that one too. But as well as teams in different countries.
Yeah.
We have to have oversight. We have to have oversight where these teams are coming from. What I would welcome personally, but hey, I'm excessive. I would say you need to have upfront guarantees.
Yeah.
You need to have oversight. I would also frankly make it that I know, like obviously Paris Saint-Germain and City and whatever, but if you're a sovereign wealth fund of a country, you should not be buying a football club. I think.
Yeah.
Obviously, grandfather in the ones who've done it already, maybe. But we should have clear demarcation lines about this because this stuff's important.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Costa Rica and Jamaica have joined the USA and Mexico to host the 2031 Women's World Cup. Now, Jules, decision won't be made official until next April, but FIFA says they're the only valid bid. So I think we can kind of know where it's going.
Yeah.
Do you like multi-nation World Cups?
I do, Gavin. I know it's not great maybe for your carbon footprint and all of that, which is absolutely fair. I just like the fact that football can go to Costa Rica and Jamaica as a World Cup host. I just love that.
Those countries will never host a World Cup on their own.
And they can't host the whole World Cup, obviously, for obvious reasons. So for them to have a few games, a bit like what we will see as well in the 2030 Men's World Cup, the year previously, which maybe is a little bit too many countries, but still, you get the idea of what I mean. So let's see, 2027 will be in Brazil. We know that, which is pretty cool too. And then I think I would love USA, Mexico, Costa Rica, and Jamaica to have. And we know most of it will be probably in the US. Then the second best will be, or second most, in Mexico, and then a little bit Costa Rica and Jamaica. But still, I think this should be the spirit.
La Liga's game on December 20th in Miami between Villarreal and Barcelona won't be taking place. It's been canceled, Jules.
Oh, such a shame.
Now, this is after legal action. Also, this past weekend, we didn't report on it, but there was a 10 to 15 second protest by players, which, funny enough, La Liga's cameras did not show.
No, in most of the game, they didn't show. Such a shame. We were all so excited to go to Miami on December 20th to really mess up the La Liga season, because as we talked about integrity and all the teams having as many home games and away games, nobody on neutral ground, this would have messed everything up. So Funnily enough, La Liga posted their statement or released their statement right in the middle of the Champions League
While Villarreal were playing.
on Tuesday, while Villarreal were playing as well.
Not happy, Villarreal.
Not happy at all. I think the right decision for me was made, Gabi, of not having that game played in the US.
Yeah, we're going to go on about it. Let's see what happens with Milan Como in Perth. Now, that is a legitimately different situation.
Sure.
But yeah, it's usually what relevant sports end up doing because they spend a lot of money on all their lawsuits, right? But now it seems that's all irrelevant. See what I did there?
Maccabi Tel Aviv said that even if their fans were allowed by local authorities to attend the Europa League game against Aston Villa, we mentioned that on Monday show, next month, they will not accept any ticket allocation anyway.
Yeah, I'm explaining this for people who don't know how it works. When you've got games between, well, even club games, actually, you have a certain amount of tickets that the home team puts aside, and they give to the away team to sell to their own fans. Typically, it'll be between 10 and 15% of the tickets. With Aston Villa, because the local authorities, which said, this is an at-risk game. We don't want the Maccabi Tel Aviv fans here, which greatly upset the British government and the opposition as well, both Labour and Conservative.
Clearly.
This became a big thing, but Maccabi Tel Aviv says, all right, guys, this is not safe for our fans, given they cited, they used the word toxic atmosphere. It's true, a toxic atmosphere has been created.
Yeah.
I think there are other factors too. There's a fellow you may be familiar with named Tommy Robinson, who is a Luton fan, I'm pretty sure. And has certain views on Islam. He posted a picture of himself wearing a Maccabi Tel Aviv shirt. By the way, this does not mean that Maccabi Tel Aviv fans cannot go to the game. It just means that they won't be getting the tickets via the official allocation. If Tommy Robinson wants to show up in a Maccabi Tel Aviv shirt, then you might get a sense of why they consider this an at-risk game. Jules, this brings us to an end.
Yes.
Well, we're going to be back on Monday because there's some pretty big games, including one in Spain, El Clásico. Not just that, plenty more. And we'll also find out whether you've won Jules's house. Until then, love the game, love your neighbor, love yourself.